Hello everybody, and welcome back to Blogstock in Elstree, just on the outskirts of London in Hertfordshire. And it's turned into actually a really lovely evening. I mean, we were worried about it raining this afternoon, and there were dire threats of thunderstorms. There's certainly going to be those on, I think, on Sunday. But actually, if I pan it around and show you what we've got here, you can see the sky is looking nice and bright up there, and everybody's now chilling out. There's still one or two events going on. I'm sorry, this thing's falling down on me, this tripod. One or two things going on. There's an event over there, but everybody's now beginning to chill. I see the fashion tent's got a large group of people. I'm not sure what the topic is in the fashion galleries right now, but I'll look it up in a minute. And to avoid me going right the way around, let me just lift that up, and you can see behind me over here. Again, people are just chilling out and having fun. With me, I've got James Davies, Davies rather, sorry, who is. Right, am I right to say you're from Expedia? You're representing, in a sense, Expedia, because you've been working with them on a new project. Tell us a little bit about what you've been doing.
Yes, well, I actually work for Expedia. I head up social media across Europe, and we have created a new app that really actually works very well with bloggers. It's not entirely aimed at bloggers, but we expect them to like it. So Expedia, and if I can just do a little bit of the background quickly. Our brand position at the moment is travel yourself interesting. We believe that travel actually makes you a more interesting person. You know, opening yourself up to new experiences, experiencing the world, and being open to the things happening out there in the world. Now that can sound slightly patronizing. That's not the aim. We really believe that actually it's valuable regardless of your experience. So if you have never traveled and you're leaving your hometown and going down the road, that's just as valid as someone who, like some of the travel bloggers here, have been all across the world and are looking and ticking off another, far-flung region region of the earth. And actually, those are all valid travel experiences.
Gary Arndt and tick off every single one of the UNESCO World Heritage sites.
Well, exactly. I think everything's relative, and really it's about opening yourself up to the world and opening yourself up to new experience. That's very much what sort of Expedia kind of believes in. Now, one of the things we wanted to do was try and get this across in social media, and social media lends itself to that kind of behavior. We curate ourselves on social media. You don't tend to share stuff that doesn't make you look cool, frankly. I have this sort of mantra almost. You share because you like your friends, not because you like the brand.
Yep.
And I'd love you all to be sharing because you love Expedia, but in the real world you don't do that. You share because actually you've discovered something that you want to see your friends to see you in, or associate with yourself. So really this actually lends itself to the brand position. Travel yourself interesting. It makes you interesting. You're curating this interesting profile of yourself on social media. And we wanted to have a bit of fun with that, really. So we've created a travel app, a Facebook application. It works on mobile. They have to these days. And essentially what it does is it goes through your Facebook content and pulls together a little personal infographic, a travel infographic. Where have you been? The favorite destination, the most popular destination. Of course, popular by this term is, how many Facebook likes it's got, how your Facebook community have sort of received that content, basically. So you do the app, you press button, and it does a sort of what the technical guys would call a scrape of your profile. Comes back with this infographic. Of course, then you have to edit it. Very few people check in everywhere they go. And people like myself, who are slightly older and didn't have Facebook for a lot of our travel, there's a lot of editing to do. But I think that actually, I say a lot of editing. What we wanted to do was have the initial sort of scrape, the initial infographic, give you something fun and exciting that you think, I want to do the bit more of this. I want actually to show all the countries I've been and all the places. And actually, that's not my favourite travel companion. It is, in fact, this person here.
So it storifies where you've been.
Exactly, in a kind of a fun, slightly quirky way. I've actually got mine here. Yeah, you may be able to see, or you may not.
This is going to be the camera's up here,
sure
so
it's quite working. You can see a little bit.
Begin to get. I mean, I would put it up on the screen, but we were stumbling around trying to make the URL.
Holding it very still, you can see just my face and my travel score.
Yep.
But you'll have to have a play around. But essentially, this is not a travel
You've
utility.
got one printed out in the tent over there,
and
it's a 6 foot long story of your.
It's quite a long thing. It's quite a long thing. We didn't want it to be sort of too short. We want it to be something that actually represents the user, so that they feel they own it. They feel it's enough of a view on their travel, so that they share it and actually start comparing it with their friends, comparing it with their peers. And it's not to drive that competition too much, as we said at the beginning. All travel is valid, but actually it's a fun thing to say, where have I been and what experience have I had. And the idea being, you can go away, edit it, and come back, and they can kind of grow over time.
It is an infographic, and so there is information that's presented in an interesting way on there. But there are also images as well. I mean, there is actual content from the trips. Is that right? Or?
Yeah, absolutely. So we wanted it to really represent the people who are creating these. So when we say infographic, there's things that say, these are the number of miles I've travelled, here's a number of destinations I've been to, but also, here's my favourite beach, here's the coolest hotel I've been to, here is my favourite travel fact or memory that I found from my travels. We have a whole lot of selections of unusual drinks. Have you had a Bellini in Venice? Have you had tequila in Mexico City? Can you tick those boxes? Have you been on a tuk-tuk? And I think that we really wanted to tease out those sort of quirky, fun elements of travel. These are the things actually that we would talk about in the pub. Our research, when we did the brand position, we found out that a lot of people embellish their travel a little bit when they're dating, when you're meeting people for the first time. It's actually teasing out these fun bits that bring travel to life. And we really thought that's important. I mean, that's why we travel.
So just run back over why it is that Expedia wants to do, because your job at Expedia, bluntly, is actually to sell travel. So just providing an app where people can, as it were, digitize their past travel doesn't seem to benefit you, other than just creating a social media environment.
Well, yes, I guess it's a long-term play. You're absolutely right, but we have almost a problem in Expedia. We have, the site covers so much travel. There's so much kind of inventory there, and that's a terribly kind of marketing-y kind of word. There's so many destinations and different places you can get to on the Expedia site. It's almost a case of, where do you start? So actually, we have to think a lot about, how do we inspire people to hit new destinations, how to find out about new things or new experiences they can have, which actually is really why we work with bloggers here, who tease out a niche interest into a destination. I've travelled because I'm interested in travel, or I'm interested in architecture, or rock climbing, or surfing. And actually, if I'm interested in travelling to do one of those things, my credence to get information comes from someone else who's a surfer or a traveller, or
it's an inspiration.
Exactly.
But
yes.
If I do that, if I create an infographic of my, let's say, a recent trip, or perhaps even a bunch of them, who gets to see it? I mean, everybody's concerned about privacy and the like. Is it only my friends, or what I'm getting at is, in a sense, for it to be really useful to you guys to generate inspirational ideas for people. You want it to be public. Is there that option to make it public? Or?
Yes, there is. So the basic data actually is public, and this is something that people have to sign up for up front. And if actually, funnily enough, rolling this out across Europe, of course, what means public is quite different. It's a slightly smaller profile, for example, in the German market, because you can't have, images other people have tagged you in, and sort of intricacies like this. But it's absolutely right. We want it to be shared as widely as possible. But then, even if that's within your own peer group, within the people you're happy to share it with, that's fine. Because actually, they're the people that you'll inspire most.
And if people agree to that in the first place, that's fine. And presumably, you also are hoping that there will be some that you can actually showcase yourselves, Expedia, and highlight.
Well, absolutely. So we're working with some of our, the bloggers we work with, some of the sort of journalists and celebrities we work with, to get them involved. But also, sort of pick out some of the people who are very well travelled, and actually compare them to sort of some of our normal users who are just as well travelled and have just an exciting thing. It's kind of nice to sort of level the playing field in a way.
My laptop has just pinged me to say that it's running low power, so we better bring this to a close.
We are in a field, yeah.
We are in a field, and I'm going to have to go and charge it up again in the car. But it's live now. It's a Facebook app.
Yes.
It's available for people if they just put in Expedia travel.
Expedia-TYI. TY stands for Travel Yourself Interesting. So Expedia-TYI.com, or on our Expedia UK Facebook pages, or the German Facebook page. And then it's rolling out next week to the Nordics, France, Netherlands, and then Italy.
Brilliant.
Italy's slightly late because, of course, everyone's on holiday all of August, so it'll be there when you get back.
All right, excellent. Thank you for that, James.
Thank you very much.
Guys, this I'm going to have to charge up the laptop, obviously, but I'm hoping to do more pop-ups during the course of. I may do one more tonight. I've brought with me a shiny lamp so I can you can see us in the dark. I may do one more tonight, but we'll see how that goes. But if not, then I'm hoping to do some more tomorrow. So keep your eyes open. I'm announcing these on Twitter using the Blogstock hashtag, usually about sort of 15 minutes in advance, and I'll give you there the URL to be able to just watch it. You can type in questions if you want to, if you're just watching, and I'll also put out the link if you actually want to participate, if you want to join us in, as it were, the video chat. So until the next one, bye for now.
Bye, guys.